Did anybody bring like s'mores or hot dogs or any kind of camp food?
Nah, most food just passes through my neck hole and stains your couch anyway.
Then why do you keep eating?
Because it's funny.
Well, I'm starving.
Are you so hungry you could eat a horse?
Hey, all this reminds me of tonight's story. Welcome back to Scared of the Dark. It's the only show where we go over each and every episode of Are You Afraid of the Dark? And tonight we're watching the tale of the Hungry Hounds.
Do the dogs eat the horse?
Not really. It's the story of two girls that get possessed by the ghost of their aunt. And sure, it's another ghost story and we've seen it before, but have we seen it with dog bite-induced heart failure? I don't think so. Let's just get right into it. We open to Kiki and Betty Ann waiting for the rest of the Midnight Society to collect firewood when they're suddenly spooked by strange animal noises. Turns out the noises were just all the boys mocking the girls for being scared. But once the group is all together and the fire starts, the dog noises don't stop, scaring the whole group. But it's just Kristen arriving late with her family dog. She brought the dog with her tonight specifically because of her new story, The Tale of the Hungry Hounds. In the story, we open to a dark, stormy night where our protagonists, Pam and Amy, are rummaging around the attic, digging through all their old family members' stuff. The two girls pretend to be the ghosts of their grandparents when Amy remarks that she isn't afraid of ghosts anyway. Almost as if it took that as a challenge, a mysterious force pushes a suitcase and spills its contents to the ground. Among all the stuff the girls find is a childhood picture of Pam's Aunt Dora, and Amy remarks how similar the two look. The girls go back to rummaging around when they find a gigantic locked chest, but before they can crack it open, Pam's mom calls the girls down for dinner. The next day, the girls are walking around when Pam shows her cousin the best thing about the place, which is her neighbor's horse. As Pam tries to ride the horse, her mom pulls up wailing on the car horn, spooking the horse away and tossing Pam to the ground.
Those animals are dangerous. I told you never to go near them.
Apparently, Pam's mom has a deadly fear of horses due to a traumatic event involving her sister, but Pam really wants to learn how to ride. But the point is moot for now. So Pam lives out in the middle of the farmland, and she's not really a farmer or a rancher, and it seems like her mom is deathly terrified of horses, and you could probably assume most large creatures. The first part of the episode really started to paint a story, and here's what we're working with. Pam and Amy are cousins on Pam's father's side. On Pam's mother's side, she apparently comes from a very rich line of equestrians that just kind of rode horses for fun times until the horse accident claimed the life of Pam's mom's sister.
Pam still feels the need to ride in her soul. Horse girls are weird like that. Spiritually connected to an animal.
Yeah, they love their horses, man. But this story is tossing out a lot of lore that you really have to keep your head on a swivel to follow. Anyway, let's get back to the show to see where this is going. The girls go back home and pass their time with board games, which include a Ouija board. They may not be scared of ghosts, but they can't help themselves from tempting the spirits to haunt them.
Don't you do anything around here except play games? What are we gonna do next, Jethro? Shuck some corn?
As the girls grab the planchette of the board, it starts spinning around and spelling out, "Let me out." Amy jokes that it's probably just the mouse in the locked chest, but suddenly the planchette spells out a combination of numbers, so the girls decide to try it out on the lock. Amy pops the lock open, and inside the chest appears to be Aunt Dora's old riding gear, covered in a mysterious fog for some reason. Pam tries on the coat and immediately starts acting different, letting her hair down and completely ignoring Amy. The possessed Pam walks out a window to a mysteriously appearing staircase, freaking out Amy, who cautiously follows her cousin. No matter what Amy tries, she can't get Pam to come to her senses. Eventually, Pam strolls directly into a graveyard, and Amy gets distracted by all of the names being from their family. But Pam stops directly at her Aunt Dora's grave. Finally, Pam talks again, but all she's saying is a random story about a fox she cared for. In this story, Pam says she saved this fox from a pack of hounds and rode her horse after the fox to ensure he was safe. During the ride, she recalls her horse sliding off a cliffside and falling with it. Amy recognizes this as the story of how Aunt Dora died, so she tries to snap Pam out of it, but suddenly the girls are approached by a ghastly man that kind of looks like John Lithgow, who refers to Pam as Dora. The ghost man admonishes Dora for neglecting to feed the hounds, but Pam Dora insists that she is there to feed them now. The old man says she's too late. All the hounds are dead now, but before they died, they were so starved they attacked him, causing his death, and it's all her fault. Pam Dora and Amy run from the aggravated old ghost and hide out in a barn nearby. So the girls just casually play some Ouija board and get a direct answer from the spirit world, and instead of questioning anything about it, they just roll with it.
The ghost was even saying, "Let me out. You're not supposed to do that."
These girls broke every single code of the horror movie genre. They played with a Ouija board, they handled possessed items, and they strolled right through a magical doorway. Honestly, I'm not really surprised at what the outcome was.
And that outcome is what, exactly?
You know, the ghost of the family's farmhand that was purposely starving these dogs and then trusting the upkeep of these dogs to a 12-year-old girl, and when she failed her job, he blamed her so much that he haunted her in the afterlife because the starving dogs bit his ass and then he had a heart attack.
Honestly, with everything else going on, the hounds feel like a small part of the story.
Yeah, they aren't really the main reason for any of this happening. And I mean, in a way, they're really the victims. They were locked up and starved by a rich family for a fox hunt. And they aren't even the reason that Dora died. Dora was recklessly riding a horse and fell off a mountain. The hell does a dog have to do with that?
Well, technically, the dogs were going to chase the fox that she wanted to save.
That's all circumstance. If I eat bad Taco Bell and then crash my car racing home to have a diarrhea, am I on appropriate grounds to possess my nephew and make him go to that Taco Bell and then call the story The Tale of the Curious Crunchwrap?
That would be a great story, actually. Also, legally, Taco Bell would be at fault.
Whatever, man. Let's just see where the episode takes us. The girls are locked in the barn and Amy is freaking out, but Pam Dora claims she needs to feed the hounds now. Amy reasons with Dora, saying she is putting them in danger if she releases these hungry hounds, but Dora claims it needs to be done. Amy pushes Pam Dora into an empty kennel and locks her inside. Amy doesn't want to let the dogs out, but will put their food out. While Amy is getting the food, Pam Dora unlocks the kennel door and walks to the dogs. Before Amy can get the food ready, Pam Dora unleashes the starved hounds who chase after Amy as she climbs up some hay bales. While Amy tries to kick the dogs away, the fox from Dora's story appears and leads the dogs out of the barn, allowing Amy to escape. As Amy looks for Pam, she sees her saddled up on a horse that rides off into the night. So Amy runs back to the staircase and gets in the attic again.
What am I gonna tell Aunt Beth?
Tell her about what?
When Amy gets back, she discovers that Pam has been in the attic all along and has no recollection of anything that just went down. Story over. Back at the fire, Kristen tells the society that Pam's mom suddenly allowed her to take writing lessons, feeling that her sister's death isn't haunting her anymore. The Dora just wanted to feed her dogs and ride her horse. The generations-long curse that the old man put on her is over.
Was the old guy like her dad or something?
No, he was just an old guy that worked there.
Did Dora actually feed the hounds?
No, she made someone else do it for her. So in the end, Dora just made her nieces do her chores for her and then ran away to ride her horse. She didn't really learn anything from the ordeal because she just kind of did the exact same thing she did anyway. And I guess to her benefit, she stopped haunting Pam's mom because Pam's mom specifically said she felt haunted by the death of her sister. After that, she wasn't haunted anymore. So maybe that's the greater good here. Really, there's just a heavy amount of connecting threads to make this story work, and it just doesn't really work that well. I mean, the stakes don't seem all that high, and the starving, ravenous hounds looked more like puppies, so it's not very threatening either. I guess the ghosts are creepy, but you could really easily outrun them, so you know, what's the threat here? Overall, I gotta say, The Tale of the Hungry Hounds is only worth 2 bits of kibble out of 5. Check it out, especially if you want to go riding and your parent is very upset at you for doing that. You may be related to somebody that rode well in the past. You could be a generational rider of sorts. You know, you could ride anything. You could ride dinosaurs and pogo sticks. You got to try it out, man. Ride D and pogo sticks. See you guys next time on Scared of the Dark.
I don't even believe in this stuff.
Then you shouldn't be scared.